CEO thought her blind date was a joke, until the single dad saved her from danger. Lena Cross sat alone in the quiet corner of a high-rise restaurant that floated above the city dome. Outside the wide glass wall, ships moved slowly through glowing traffic lanes, like calm fish in a bright ocean. Lena did not enjoy the view. Her eyes stayed on the small table in front of her where a single glass of water waited. She was the chief leader of Orion Drive Systems, one of the most powerful human companies in known space. She was used to control, plans, and numbers. She was not used to blind dates. She checked the time again. 10 minutes late. This was already a waste of time. The board had pushed her into this meeting. They said she needed to look more human to the public. They said a friendly story would help company trust. Lena had agreed only because she was tired of arguing. She expected someone important to arrive. Someone polished, someone rich, maybe another executive or investor. Instead, a man walked in, holding the hand of a small girl. The man looked simple. He wore plain clothes, clean but old. His hair was dark and slightly messy. His face showed signs of long work and little rest. The girl beside him looked about 6 years old. She carried a small toy ship and smiled at everything. The man scanned the room, then looked at Lena. He froze for a second, like he was unsure. Then he walked toward her. Lena felt her patience break. This had to be a joke. The man stopped at her table. "Lena?" he asked in a calm voice. "Yes," she said flatly. "I am Evan Hale," he said. "I think this is our meeting." Lena stared at him, then at the child. "You brought your child," Lena said. Evan nodded. "This was the only way I could come. I hope that is not a problem." Lena pressed her lips together. It was very much a problem. But she had learned how to hide her feelings. "It is fine," she said, though her tone said otherwise. "Please sit." They sat. The girl climbed into the seat next to Evan. "This is Mira," Evan said. "She is very polite." Mira smiled at Lena. "Hello." Lena gave a small nod. The silence stretched. Evan did not seem nervous. He looked around the restaurant with calm interest, as if he had been there many times before. Lena finally spoke. "What do you do, Evan?" "I work maintenance," he said, "on the lower orbital levels." Maintenance. Lena almost laughed. She was the most powerful CEO in human space, and this was her blind date. She wondered if the board was mocking her. "That must be busy," she said. "It is," Evan replied, "but it keeps things running. When small systems fail, big disasters follow." Lena did not respond. She was already planning how to leave early. Mira leaned forward. "Are you really the boss of Star Engines?" Lena looked at the child, surprised. "Yes," she said slowly. "That is cool," Mira said. "My dad fixes old power lines. He says engines are just bigger puzzles." Evan smiled at his daughter. "Everything is a puzzle if you look close enough." Lena felt a strange pause inside her. The man spoke simply, but with meaning. Still, this was not why she was here. The meal arrived. They ate in silence. Lena finished quickly. "I have another meeting," she said. "I should go." Evan nodded. "I understand. Thank you for meeting us." Mira waved. "Bye." Lena stood and turned away, already regretting the evening. She did not notice the small drone outside the glass wall. It followed her as she left. The lift carried Lena down toward the transit levels. Her personal guard was waiting below. She relaxed slightly as the doors opened. Then the lights flickered. Her guard reached for his weapon, but it was too late. The drone burst through the ceiling. It released a sharp pulse of light. The guard fell without a sound. Lena screamed and stumbled back. The drone lowered itself, scanning her. A cold voice came from it. Target confirmed. The lift doors closed. The drone moved closer. Then, something hit it. Hard. The drone slammed into the wall and sparked. Lena turned in shock. Evan stood in the doorway, holding a metal tool. His face was no longer calm. "Run," he said. Lena did not ask questions, she ran. Behind her, Evan moved fast. Too fast for a simple worker. He struck the drone again, breaking its core. The machine went dark. More footsteps echoed. Evan grabbed Lena's arm and pulled her into a side tunnel. "How did you get here?" she asked, breathless. "I saw the drone," he said. I did not like it. That answer made no sense. They hid as security alarms began to sound. Evan checked the path, then relaxed slightly. "You are safe for now," he said. Lena stared at him. "You saved my life," she said. Evan nodded once. "Yes." Before she could speak again, Mira's voice came through Evan's communicator. "Dad, more signals are coming," she said calmly. Lena's heart dropped. Evan looked down the tunnel. "This is not over," he said. Far above them, unseen enemies adjusted their plans. The blind date was no joke anymore. Lena Cross ran through the dark tunnel, her heels clattering against the metal floor. Her breath came in sharp bursts. Behind her, Evan Hale moved with quiet speed, guiding her and Mira through the twisting passages. The small girl held tightly to Evan's hand, her eyes wide but steady. The alarm lights flashed red. Sirens echoed across the transit tubes, bouncing off walls and sending shadows dancing across pipes and cables. Lena felt panic rise. She had been in dangerous meetings before, but nothing like this. Evan paused and held up a hand. The shadows ahead shifted. 3 masked figures appeared at the far end of the corridor. They carried weapons that hummed with alien energy. Evan knelt quickly, pulling Lena and Mira behind a large maintenance crate. His eyes flicked across the attackers, studying their movements. Lena realized something she had not before. Evan was not just brave. He was trained. Every motion was precise, efficient, and confident. The first attacker fired a pulse shot. Sparks flew as the weapon struck the crate, but Evan moved before it could hit Lena. He grabbed a heavy metal pipe and swung it with perfect timing, knocking the attacker backward. The second attacker lunged at Mira, but Evan's hand was faster. He shoved Mira behind him and struck the assailant in the shoulder, making him stumble. Lena's heart raced. She wanted to help, but she froze. Evan moved like a storm, calm and unstoppable. Even Mira seemed to understand when to act, reaching up to press a small red button on the wall. Lights flickered and emergency doors slammed, cutting off the attacker's path. "Follow me," Evan shouted, and they ran. The tunnel opened into a maintenance bay filled with machinery and floating repair drones. Lena had to duck to avoid hitting her head on one of the machines. She glanced at Evan, still protecting Mira, and wondered how this man could be so strong, so fearless. Evan led them to a narrow service corridor. He paused at a junction, listening. The attackers were close. Lena could hear their footsteps and the hum of their weapons. "They are fast," Evan said quietly. "But humans think differently. Watch and learn." Lena did not understand. She had spent her life controlling massive corporations, fleets, and projects. What could this man mean? A sudden alarm echoed, and a security drone entered the corridor scanning for them. Lena froze. Evan grabbed a control panel on the wall and pressed a sequence of buttons. The lights went out. The drone hovered for a second, confused, then shot off in the opposite direction. "See?" Evan said. Machines are clever, but predictable. They continued, moving through maintenance lifts and narrow shafts. Lena's fear slowly turned to curiosity. She began to watch Evan's strategy. Every step, every choice seemed simple, but had deep thought behind it. He knew the corridors, the machines, and even the drone's behavior. Finally, they reached a large observation deck overlooking the city's main traffic lanes. The stars glittered beyond the glass walls, and the city lights shimmered like fireflies. Lena paused to catch her breath and look down at the chaos below. She had seen the city from above many times, but never with this level of danger surrounding her. Are we safe here? She asked. For now, Evan said, but we cannot stay long. They will come. He handed Lena a small handheld device. This is a locator and shield generator. Keep it close. It will help. Lena took it, feeling a strange trust. She did not know why, but she believed him. Why are they after me? She asked. Her voice was trembling. Evan hesitated, looking down at Mira, who was quietly observing Lena. It is complicated, he said, but your company has made something important, something others want. Lena frowned. Important? What do you mean? Evan shook his head. Not here, not safe. We need to move before more come. As if on cue, the deck shook. Alarms flashed again. The attackers had found their path. Evan grabbed Lena's hand. Hold on tight. They ran to a nearby service elevator. Mira climbed up first, then Evan, then Lena. The elevator shot up quickly, moving through layers of the station. The floor indicators blinked past rapidly. When the elevator stopped, they stepped into a quiet maintenance platform. The platform was filled with old spare parts, pipes, and scaffolding. The attackers had not reached this level. Evan let out a short breath. We have a few minutes, that is all. Lena looked at him. You have done this before? Many times? Evan smiled slightly, a shadow of his usual calm. Once or twice? More than I can count. I am used to danger. I was not used to peace until Mira. Mira smiled up at him. Daddy is the best. Lena felt a strange warmth. Even in this chaos, family existed. Simple, honest, brave. The sound of distant footsteps brought Lena back to the present. More attackers were coming. They would not wait. The elevator route was no longer safe. Evan looked at the pipes, the scaffolding, the layout of the platform. Follow me, he said again. They climbed over pipes, ducked under beams, and moved through shadowed corners. Lena tried to keep up, but she realized she was learning. Watching Evan's choices, seeing how he predicted every move, made her see that humans could fight differently. Not with the largest weapons or most powerful fleets, but with thought, creativity, and courage. Suddenly, a beam of light hit them. An attacker's scanner had found them. Evan acted immediately. He grabbed the loose pipe and swung it at a small control panel. Sparks flew. The lights flickered and went out. The attacker cursed. Lena could hear his heavy boots as he tried to find them in the dark. Evan grabbed Lena's arm. Quick, through here. They slid down a maintenance chute, landing on a soft catwalk below. Lena's knees hurt, but she did not care. Mira giggled, clearly enjoying the adventure. This way, Evan said. They ran through a network of back corridors until they reached a small maintenance lift that led to the outer transit tube. Evan checked the path. No one was there. He let out a breath. We can get to safety if we are careful. Lena finally had a moment to look at Evan fully. This man, this simple engineer, had saved her twice. He was not afraid of death, not afraid of danger. And he had a daughter. a child he protected above all. For the first time, Lena realized that power was not just in wealth or position. Power could be in a human heart, in courage, and in thinking differently. The lift moved up slowly, taking them toward the outer transit lanes. Lena held the shield generator tight, feeling a strange connection to Evan's quiet strength. Mira sat beside them, humming softly. Outside, the city moved in calm streams of light, unaware of the hidden danger. Evan looked at Lena. "We are not safe yet. But you are alive, and that is what matters." Lena nodded. Fear still raced through her, but a new feeling rose as well. Respect, trust, perhaps even something deeper. The shadow of the attackers was still close, but Evan's strategy, his mind, and his courage had turned the tide, at least for now. And Lena understood something she could not have known before. Sometimes, the most ordinary human could be the most extraordinary hero. Lena Cross sat in the small maintenance compartment, the shield generator resting on her lap. Her chest heaved as she tried to catch her breath. The city lights glimmered far below, and the soft hum of distant engines reminded her that life outside continued normally, even while danger chased them. Evan Hale leaned against a support beam, wiping sweat from his brow. Mira had curled up beside him, her small hand in his. Lena watched them quietly, noticing how naturally the father and daughter moved together. There was trust, love, and an unspoken understanding. "Tell me," Lena said, finally breaking the silence, "why are they after me? What did my company do?" Evan studied her for a moment, his eyes dark. "Your company has been working on something powerful, something that could change human survival. The wrong people want it for themselves." Lena frowned. "Change survival? That sounds like a threat." "It is," Evan said. "Aliens have been watching humans for a long time. Your work threatens them. They want you gone before it becomes too dangerous for them." Lena felt a cold shiver run down her spine. Whoa. She had thought of politics, business rivals, and public scandals as her biggest dangers. She had never considered alien interest. And now, she realized, the simple engineer who had saved her twice knew more about this threat than she did. Evan's voice softened. "I was a human defense strategist once. During the war, I helped protect colonies, plan defenses, and fight alien forces. Then I left it all to raise Mira in peace. I did not expect trouble to follow me, or to find you." Lena looked at him, astonished. "You were part of the war? I thought that was long over." "It is," Evan said. "But the enemy watches and waits. Humans are slow to act, but unpredictable. That is what makes them dangerous." Lena absorbed his words. She had spent her life leading people, but here was a man who had led warriors and survived battles across the stars. And now he used his knowledge to protect her. "Why are you helping me?" she asked. Evan looked at Mira, who was quietly fiddling with a small mechanical toy. Then he looked back at Lena. "Because you need help, and because humans help each other. That is who we are." Lena felt something shift inside her. Fear was still there, but trust was growing. She was beginning to understand what it meant to depend on another human completely. Suddenly, the compartment door slid open with a soft hiss. Lena spun, heart pounding. A shadow moved in the dim light. Evan stepped forward, shielding Mira. "Stay behind me," he said. The shadow resolved into a figure, tall and thin, wearing a uniform that glowed faintly. It was an alien scout, its eyes black and unblinking. It moved silently, like it had studied every human movement. Evan did not hesitate. He grabbed a pipe from the floor and swung it with perfect timing. The alien staggered back, Surprised, it fired a small pulse weapon, but Evan had anticipated it. He ducked and struck again, making the alien stumble into a control panel. Sparks flew, and the alien hissed before retreating into the shadows. Lena's hands shook. She had never seen anything like this before. Her company built advanced engines, but she had not expected to see a real alien up close. And yet, Evan had handled it as if it were a simple obstacle in a routine job. "Are you always this calm?" Lena asked, voice trembling. Evan gave a small, tired smile. "Not always. But experience teaches you to control fear. Humans survive because we think, adapt, and act, even when we are afraid." Lena thought about her board meetings, her carefully planned strategies. She had power, yes, but here, in the middle of a real threat, her power meant nothing without courage. Mira looked up at Lena. "Mommy, he's really good at this, isn't he?" Lena smiled faintly. "Yes, he is." The moment was brief. Footsteps echoed in the corridor outside. The alien scout was calling reinforcements. Evan grabbed Lena's arm. "We have to move, now." They climbed through the maintenance shafts, Evan guiding them with precision. Lena followed, carrying the shield generator and trying to keep up with Mira's small steps. The corridors twisted and turned, filled with pipes, wires, and machinery. Each turn was a decision, each step a choice. Evan led them through safely, using shadows, distractions, and even the environment itself to slow their pursuers. They reached a lower level, a quiet area filled with storage containers and old equipment. Lena collapsed against a crate, exhausted. Evan knelt beside her, checking the path ahead. "Why do they want me dead?" Lena asked again, her voice soft. Evan looked serious. "Your company has created an AI engine that can control power across colonies. If it falls into the wrong hands, it can destroy worlds. Some humans already tried to steal it, and now aliens are aware of it. You are the key, because they believe you can access or activate it." Lena's mind raced. She had always thought of her work as business, engineering, profit. Now it was survival, responsibility, and humanity itself. Evan's hand touched hers briefly. "You are not alone. Humans survive because we protect each other. Mira taught me that every day. Even the small can make a difference." Lena looked at Mira, sleeping quietly against her father, then back at Evan. She understood what he meant. Power was not only in technology, power was in people, in courage, in trust. A sudden sound shattered the quiet, a low rumble from the corridor. The alien reinforcements were close. Evan rose, his expression hardening. "We need to get to the transit level. From there, we can reach a safer zone." They ran through the storage area, ducking under pipes and jumping over crates. The pursuers were fast, but Evan's strategy kept them ahead. Lena's mind absorbed everything. She watched how he used his environment, how he predicted movements, and how he protected Mira without hesitation. Finally, they reached a service lift. Evan pressed the controls, and it lifted them quickly. Lena gripped the generator tightly, her heart still racing. When the doors opened, they found themselves in a maintenance corridor leading to a lower transit lane. Evan checked the path carefully. "This will take us closer to safety, but it is still dangerous. Stay close and do exactly as I say." Lena nodded, following him closely. Mira ran ahead slightly, but Evan's hand was ready to guide her back. They moved through the corridor silently. The red emergency lights flickered, casting long shadows. Every corner, every doorway could hide enemies. Lena's mind raced, but she felt a strange calm with Evan. She trusted him completely. At last, they reached a small observation window overlooking the main transit lanes. Ships moved slowly in the distance, unaware of the danger below. Evan crouched beside Lena. From here, we can plan our next move. But remember, the enemy is clever. They will not stop until they reach you. Lena nodded. She understood fully now that her life, and possibly the survival of many humans, depended on courage, intelligence, and trust in others. As the lights flickered again and distant footsteps echoed, Lena realized something profound. Humans were not just fragile creatures fighting in the dark. They were clever, unpredictable, and dangerous when protecting what they loved. And she would need every ounce of that strength if she hoped to survive. Lena Cross moved quickly through the lower transit corridors, her shield generator pressed tightly against her chest. Mira followed closely, her small hand gripping Evan's. The distant hum of engines above and the flashing red lights around them reminded Lena that danger was never far. Evan led them to a wide service platform that connected to several orbital transit lanes. The platform was old, with pipes and scaffolding crisscrossing overhead. Lena could feel the weight of the space city pressing down on them. Every step was critical. A wrong move could expose them to the alien patrols that still searched for her. "We need to reach the summit station," Evan said. "It is supposed to be safe. I do not trust the normal security, but we have no other choice." Lena frowned. "Summit station? Isn't that where all the leaders meet?" "Yes," Evan said. "It is supposed to be a safe zone, but I feel something is wrong. Stay alert." As they moved along the catwalks, Lena could hear distant footsteps. Shadows moved along the walls. She felt her chest tighten. Her life had never been like this, so close to real danger, relying completely on someone else to survive. Evan checked the path ahead. He nodded to Lena and Mira. "We go now." They moved silently, stepping over pipes, ducking under beams, and slipping through narrow passages. The footsteps behind them grew louder, and Lena could hear a low humming sound that indicated energy weapons. Suddenly, a bright light flashed across the corridor. Lena squinted. Security drones blocked their path. Evan reacted immediately, grabbing a loose panel from the wall and using it to disrupt the drone sensors. Sparks flew and the machines faltered. He grabbed Lena and Mira, pulling them to a side passage. They ran, heart pounding, until they reached an open observation deck. The station above glowed with lights from the city. Ships moved slowly in the lanes, peaceful and unaware of the chaos below. Lena paused, trying to catch her breath. Evan scanned the area, ensuring it was safe. "Why are they after you?" Lena asked again. "Why risk everything to save me?" Evan looked at her, serious. "Because they believe you hold the key. Your company created an AI engine that can control power across entire colonies. In the wrong hands, it could destroy worlds. I cannot let that happen. Humans fight differently. We think, we adapt, and we protect what we love. That is our strength." Lena nodded slowly. She understood now that her wealth and position were meaningless without courage and strategy. Evan had taught her that humans could be stronger than any weapon. They moved toward the lift that would take them to the summit station. Lena's heart raced as they entered the platform. The lift was empty, the doors closing behind them. The machine hummed as it shot upward through the station. When the doors opened, they stepped into the summit station. It was filled with humans in official uniforms, moving with purpose. Lena expected safety, but something felt wrong. The air was tense, almost heavy. People glanced at her strangely, some with fear, others with cold calculation. A man in a sharp uniform approached, smiling politely. "Lena Cross, welcome. We have been expecting you." Lena felt a chill. There was something about his tone, the way he looked at her. Evan placed himself between her and the man, his stance protective. "Why are you here?" Evan asked, his voice calm but firm. The man smiled wider. "To ensure your safety, of course." Step inside, please. Lena glanced at Evan. He shook his head slightly. This is a trap. Stay alert. They followed the man into a conference room. The room was brightly lit, with large windows showing the city below. Humans in official uniforms sat around the table. Lena recognized some names, leaders she had met in board meetings, politicians she had seen in reports. All smiled politely, but there was tension in their eyes. Sit, please, the man said. We only want to discuss your company's work and ensure safety. Lena sat, keeping a hand on the shield generator. Mira sat quietly beside Evan. Lena's instincts screamed danger. She felt the trap before it happened. Suddenly, the doors closed with a hiss. Alarms flashed red, and Lena realized too late that the humans around her were armed, working with alien advisors. This was not a meeting. It was a trap. Evan reacted immediately. He grabbed Lena and Mira, pushing them behind a table as energy weapons fired from the walls. Sparks flew as the bullets struck metal. The attackers were fast, but Evan's knowledge of strategy and human behavior gave them a slight edge. "Move!" he shouted. "Keep low and follow me." Lena did as told, ducking and rolling behind cover. Mira stayed close, protected by Evan. Lena realized how much she relied on him, not just for strength, but for knowledge, for safety, and for courage. Evan led them through hidden passages in the summit station, using old maintenance routes that only someone familiar with the station would know. Lena followed, clutching the generator, her mind racing. They reached a small observation deck overlooking the city. Evan checked the corridor. "We have a chance to escape, but we must move fast." Lena nodded. "Where now?" "To the lower orbital shuttle bays," Evan said. "We can reach a safer colony from there." They ran through the maintenance corridors again, evading both human and alien forces. Evan used every tactic he knew: distractions, blocked pathways, shadows, and timing to stay ahead of the attackers. Lena realized that humans, though not as fast or powerful as some aliens, could fight with strategy, courage, and unpredictability. Finally, they reached a shuttle bay. A small transport hovered, engines running, ready to take off. Evan guided them in, sealing the hatch behind them. Lena sat beside Mira, watching as Evan prepared the controls. "Are we safe?" Lena asked. "For now," Evan said. "But this is only the beginning. They will not stop until they reach you. And now they know humans fight differently." The shuttle lifted off, leaving the summit station behind. Lena looked back at the city lights shimmering, unaware of the battles that had taken place below. She realized that survival depended not on weapons alone, but on courage, intelligence, and trust in others. Evan turned to her, eyes serious. "Humans may be small, but we are dangerous when we protect what we love. Remember that." Lena nodded, understanding fully now. And as the shuttle moved through the orbital lanes, she felt something she had never felt before: a deep respect for the human spirit, and a strange sense of hope that perhaps, together, they could face anything. The shuttle glided through the orbital lanes, Lena holding the shield generator tightly. Mira sat quietly, her head resting on Evan's shoulder. The city below disappeared into the distance, lights fading into the darkness of space. Lena had never experienced such quiet after chaos. Evan checked the shuttle systems, adjusting power to the engines and shielding. Lena watched him, realizing again how calm and precise he was, even after the danger they had faced. Every movement he made showed experience, intelligence, and trustworthiness. "We need to reach the colony at Vega Station," Evan said. "It is not heavily populated, but humans there can help us. And it is far enough that our pursuers will not reach us quickly." Lena nodded. She had begun to understand the situation fully. Her company's AI engine had made her a target, not only for humans seeking power, but for aliens who wanted to control humanity's growth. She felt a weight of responsibility pressing on her. The shuttle's sensors suddenly beeped. Lena looked at the screen. What is that? Evan's expression hardened. Test attack. They are checking defenses. She looked at him, confused. Aliens? Already? Yes, he said. They do not strike immediately. They test. They measure. But humans fight differently. That is why they fear us. A small alien ship appeared, sleek and fast, moving in intercept course. Lena could see the energy weapons glinting under the lights. The shuttle shook as the first pulse hit the shielding. Sparks flew across the control panels. Evan maneuvered expertly, weaving the shuttle through the orbital lanes. Humans adapt, watch and learn. He adjusted the engines, creating unpredictable movement. The alien ship fired again, missing by mere meters. Lena held her breath, her hands gripping the generator. Mira looked up at her father. "Daddy, we can do it, right?" Evan smiled. "Yes, Mira, we can." The alien ship followed, but Evan used the shuttle's small thrusters to create sudden deceleration and lateral movement. The alien pilot miscalculated and overshot, giving Evan a chance to counter. Lena realized what he meant by humans fighting differently. They used creativity, thinking, and improvisation rather than raw power. The aliens were fast and strong, but predictable. Humans were clever, resourceful, and willing to risk themselves for others. Evan prepared a makeshift electronic pulse. He tapped into the shuttle's systems, creating a short-range EMP that disabled the alien ship's weapons temporarily. Sparks flew from the enemy craft and it tumbled away, retreating to regroup. Lena exhaled, relief washing over her. That was incredible, she said. Evan nodded, still focused. It is not over. They will return. Humans fight differently, but we must be ready. They continued toward Vega Station, the tension in the shuttle slowly easing as they approached the outer layers of the colony. Lena watched as the station grew larger. Lights sparkling against the black of space, ships docked and undocked with precision, humans moving with calm efficiency. When they reached the colony, Evan guided the shuttle to a secluded bay. The engine slowed, and the hatch opened. Humans emerged, armed but organized. They recognized Evan immediately, showing respect and recognition. Lena felt the difference here. Humans fought not for greed or power alone, but for survival and community. A man approached, older, with a serious face but kind eyes. "Evan Hale," he said. "You are welcome here, and you brought the young one." Safe, I hope?" "Yes," Evan said. "For now." Ha 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 ha. "But the enemy is relentless. They will not stop." The man nodded. "Then we will help. Humans survive because we fight together, not alone." Lena watched, awe building inside her. She had always relied on her company's power, on strategy and technology, but now she understood that true strength lay in people, in courage, and in trust. Suddenly, alarms blared across the colony. Lena's heart sank. The alien forces had followed them, testing the colony's defenses. Drones hovered in the sky, scanning for weakness. Energy pulses hit the outer walls, but the humans had prepared. Evan joined the defensive coordination, directing humans with calm precision. Lena saw how humans, even without the fastest ships or the strongest weapons, could fight with clever tactics. They used their environment, teamwork, and intuition to outthink the enemy. Mira watched from a safe corner. "Daddy, we can win," she said, her voice full of certainty. "Yes, we can," Evan replied. "Humans fight differently. That is our advantage." Lena saw the humans deploy clever traps, decoys, and timing. The aliens expected brute force, but humans acted unpredictably. They sacrificed speed for strategy, strength for timing, emotion for insight. Every move was calculated, every risk measured, and every person played a role. The alien test attack continued, but slowly, humans pushed them back. Lena witnessed something she had never seen before: a small group of people holding off advanced alien technology with cleverness, courage, and unity. Her mind raced. She realized that survival did not need the largest ships, the fastest engines, or the deadliest weapons. It needed strategy, courage, creativity, and the willingness to protect what was important. Hours passed, the alien forces retreated, realizing humans were not easy to defeat. Lena felt her chest rise with relief and pride. Humans had survived, not because of machines, but because of heart, mind, and unity. Evan turned to her, sweat on his brow, but a calm determination in his eyes. "This is what I meant. Humans fight differently, and we survive." Lena nodded, understanding completely. She had spent her life leading people, but now she saw the real lesson. True strength came from courage, resourcefulness, and the willingness to protect others. Mira smiled, hugging her father. "We did it!" "Yes, we did," Evan said. "And now we prepare for what comes next. The enemy will not give up, but humans are clever, and humans fight for each other." Lena felt something she had never felt before: deep respect for the human spirit, for courage, and for the unpredictable, dangerous, and beautiful force that humans became when protecting what they loved. And she knew that with Evan and Mira, and with others like them, humanity had a chance, even against the most advanced alien threats. The colony at Vega Station was quiet now, the alien test forces having retreated. Lena Cross sat on a metal crate, the shield generator resting on her lap. Mira slept peacefully beside Evan Hale, her small hand still in his. Lena had never experienced such calm after so much chaos. Yet she knew it was only temporary. The enemy had learned that humans fought differently, and now they would come prepared. Evan checked the shuttle's communications, coordinating with other human colonies. "We need to prepare," he said. "The next attack will be bigger. The aliens will not underestimate us again." Lena listened, feeling both fear and determination. She had spent her life leading companies and projects, but now leadership meant survival. The stakes were no longer profit or power, they were life and the future of humanity. "We have one chance," Evan said. "The enemy's sensors rely on prediction. We can use that. Humans fight differently, and we can turn it to our advantage." Lena nodded. She had seen it before. Evan's strategy, the clever tactics humans used against stronger, faster opponents. She understood now that strength came from intelligence, creativity, and the willingness to act for what you love. The colony's human defenders moved quickly, setting up barriers, decoys, and traps. Lena watched as ordinary workers, engineers, and civilians became part of the defense. Every person had a role, and every action was calculated. It was not just brute force. It was strategy, courage, and unity. Suddenly, the sky above the colony glowed with alien energy. Lena felt her stomach tighten. The main attack had begun. Ships descended, firing pulses and scanning for targets. Humans moved fast, unpredictable, and clever. Lena saw how they used the colony itself, the buildings, the machinery, the terrain, to confuse the enemy. Evan took command, directing ships and defenders with calm precision. Lena realized she had learned from him already, absorbing the logic of human strategy. She felt her own confidence growing, knowing that courage and intelligence could turn the tide. A massive alien craft fired directly at the colony's central reactor. Evan acted immediately. "Lena, the AI engine. You must activate it. It can create a protective shield across the colony. Lena nodded, heart racing. She had never faced such responsibility. She rushed to the control room, her mind sharp despite fear. The alien attack was precise, but the human defenders had slowed them long enough. She activated the AI engine. Energy surged across the colony, forming a protective shield. Alien pulses hit it and bounced off. Lena could see the attackers hesitate. Humans had survived the first wave with strategy, but now the AI shield gave them an edge. Evan returned to her side, still shielding Mira. This is it, the final push. Humans moved with coordination, striking at weak points, using every advantage, every unexpected move. Lena watched as ordinary people became extraordinary defenders. Even Mira helped, operating small emergency systems under Evan's supervision. The alien forces, unprepared for such adaptability, began to retreat. Their ships faltered under clever human attacks. Lena realized that humans, though small and seemingly fragile, were dangerous because of their unpredictability, courage, and intelligence. Hours passed, and finally, the last alien ship fled. The colony was safe. Humans had won not by brute force, but by thinking differently, by protecting each other, and by fighting with heart and mind. Evan held Lena's hand. "You did well," he said. Together, humans survived. Lena looked around at the defenders, the families, the ordinary people who had become heroes. She understood fully now that power came not from wealth or technology alone, but from courage, unity, and intelligence. Humans were small, but they were extraordinary when defending what they loved. Mira climbed onto Lena's lap, smiling. "We did it, Mommy." "Yes, we did," Lena said, tears in her eyes. "And we will keep doing it. Humans fight differently, and that is why we survive." Evan looked at her, calm and proud. "It is not over. But now, humans are ready, and humans never give up." The colony began to repair, rebuild, and celebrate. Life continued, stronger and wiser. Lena realized that even in the darkest moments, courage and trust could create hope. And in the vast expanse of space, humans were dangerous not because of their weapons, but because of their heart, their mind, and the love they held for each other. Lena took a deep breath, looking at Evan and Mira. Together, they had survived the impossible. Together, they had shown that humans fight differently. And together, they had ensured that humanity would endure, no matter what challenges the stars might bring.